So with my airmail, it's basically the same shot as my slide shot, but I give it just a little bit extra on the release. See if I can knock this one in. Let's go! I think cornhole is a huge momentum game, and my favorite shot is an airmail. It's my favorite shot because the round could be very evenly matched. Maybe your opponent throws his last bag a little bit short, and you go over the top, you hit the airmail, and oftentimes that starts to get in people's heads a little bit and can change momentum. I throw lucky bags. I love the Surefires, which is what I have in my hand. Nice stick side, probably 4 or 5 speed, and a pretty fast side around a 9. But when the boards really start to tack up, it's tough to beat the pro snipers. So those are the 2 bags that I typically throw. I think like most people getting into the game, we like to watch people and almost emulate their throw. And so I did that in the beginning. Jamie Graham, amazing technique. I tried his throw. Actually, the guy that I landed on and I really liked is Derek King, almost like a little bit of a slingshot approach. But for a long time, I would try to replicate these other top player throws. And after a while, I realized I needed to kind of personalize it for me. So, but I've tried everything from, big swing to tiny swing, a little bit of an arm out, and just would kind of track how I do. And from that process, making little tweaks to my wrist, my throwing motion, that's where I landed on the throw that I use today, which I've been using for about 1.5 years. It's a little bit unorthodox in the sense that I don't have a big windup. I used to step. I learned that, for me anyways, I was a little bit more inconsistent stepping. And so, again, like Derek King, right foot forward, kind of even balance. And it's almost like a baseball swing where my weight shifts during the course of my throw. I kind of have a load, a wind up, and a toss. But I start out real low, almost right next to my side, almost straight down, a little bit of a wind up, and then toss. That's it. I'm sure folks have seen the different grips. This is actually something I play with frequently. And for a long time, I would try different things. But what I do is actually take my pinky and get a little bit more, support by resting it in the back. And then thumb a little bit at an angle, 45 degrees. Back, I just try to grip it pretty hard, and that's it. But I've tried the butterfly grip, and I can throw a really flat bag butterfly grip, but it's left, right, off the back of the board, so that one doesn't work for me as well. If you kind of correlate cornhole to pitching, I'm a fastball, curveball, changeup guy. I don't have a lot of pitches. And so for me, my fastball is just sliding it down the middle. Once in a while throwing a changeup and block. But my curveball is my airmail. That's what I rely on quite a bit. And when I'm going deep into tournaments, that's the shot that usually is working well for me. Yeah, I've tried backloading my bag to do cuts and flops and different things. I learned really quickly after trying it for a short period of time, those aren't the shots for me. I don't have a perfect flat bag like a lot of folks, but then you watch some of the top pros in the ACL. Matt Guy's a perfect example, right? His bag isn't flat, and he puts them in the hole, he pours them in the hole. And so for me, I wanted to have a bag, I knew what it was gonna do when it hit the board. When I learned how to throw a flat bag or flatter bag, it's so frustrating because you think you'd figure it out, and you go to the practice boards, you're like, okay, what did I just went back to my old throw. One of the things that helped me is I started throwing left hand. I was so frustrated, I'm like, okay, this hand does not know how to throw a cornhole bag, so let me just try to figure it out with this throwing motion. And just through that process, you realize that if you simplify your throw and you're not trying to put all these extra steps into it, you can actually accomplish a lot of what you're trying to do. And that actually helped me throw a flat bag, so it helped me simplify my mechanics when I started throwing. So yeah, for those of you out there who are looking to get really good, really fast, and I've seen people in my area do this, I think the recipe is pretty simple. Time on the boards. You need to be playing every day. You need to be putting in practice hours. And so that worked for me anyways. And I've seen other people in my area practice a lot, but then also they're out throwing in local events, whether they be Switcholios, bring your own partner events, but they're constantly throwing. It's almost a full-time job.